Welcome to the Owner Identity Podcast, where we empower men experiencing same-sex attraction to live a life of purpose and possibility through the power of Christ and for the glory of God. My name is Jason Meller. I am so glad you're here. Come on in, have a seat. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back. I want to ask you, when was the last time you felt a genuine sense of wonder about yourself, about life, about what's possible? There's a lot of good work going on around healing the inner child. Most of that work asks us to look back and honor the boy who wasn't seen, wasn't protected, or wasn't supported. And that work has been powerful for me. But something I think needs more focus is going back and honoring the boy who felt alive, the boy who felt wonder, the moments, however brief, when life felt full of possibility. So today, I want to go there to remember wonder. When I first started thinking about this, though, I realized something that made me kind of sad. When I look back on my childhood, it was actually hard for me at first to remember some moments of wonder. The challenges came to mind much more easily. And maybe that's true for you too. But I don't think that means that wonder was not there. I think it means it went quiet. And maybe it's an invitation to look again, gently. One memory that comes to mind is sitting up in a mulberry tree in our backyard, reading The Fellowship of the Ring. It didn't feel like escaping. What I remember is being immersed. And as I read, something loosened in my body. For a while, I just forgot about the limitations that maybe have been placed on me, the belief that I wasn't enough, that I didn't really have a voice, that getting excited about something might be risky or pointless. And up in that tree, with that book, I felt permission to wonder. I don't know that I had some specific dream in mind. It wasn't a clear vision of the future. It was more of this quiet belief that something meaningful could happen, that there could be an adventure in my life. And maybe I just needed to open my eyes to see it. In that moment in my body, it felt true. Wonder is a felt sense of possibility. It sounds like, what if? I'm curious. Something interesting might be here. It doesn't deny reality. It just refuses to let fear be the only lens. And for many of us, wonder didn't disappear because it was childish or unrealistic. It went quiet because it was unprotected. Responsibility came early. Disappointment taught us to manage expectations. Pain trained us to be cautious. So we learned to lead with control instead of curiosity. This was not a failure. It was adapting. I did this. I believe that when we choose wonder, some great things happen. In the present, our nervous system settles. We can move out of a constant threat detection. It allows us to think a little bit more clearly, to notice more options. Wonder increases creativity. It helps us respond to stress with more capacity instead of more tension. And over time, it doesn't just change how we feel, it changes how we make decisions, how we relate, and how we lead. A question I want to offer you. What if, once a day, you intentionally practiced wonder? Not to escape your life, but to meet it differently. What if you asked, what's possible here? What might this teach me? What would curiosity do instead of fear? And if you ask those questions more often, how would you grow over time? How would you show up differently in the present? Practicing wonder can look like noticing one small moment of curiosity or aliveness each day, asking one different question, creating something with no outcome attached, just for the sake of creating. And maybe choosing not to shut something down too quickly. Wonder is not about bypassing pain or forcing positivity. It can exist alongside grief, responsibility, and uncertainty. Here's an example from my life of choosing wonder. My daughter and I are creating a toy. It's called the Tooth Fairy B&B. We're modeling it on the computer, printing it out on our 3D printer, and more than just an object that would sit on the nightstand in a bedroom, it's a whole narrative. It's a story we're creating, solving a problem of tooth fairies having to go from house to house, bustling at night, wearing themselves out, and they need a break. So we're providing that space for them to put their feet up, to enjoy a little cup of tea, and have time to write a letter to this child that they've been seeing for years, and being able to tell them, hey, this is what I've seen different in you, how you've grown over time, and give them a little bit of advice. So, not to mention, it's a lot safer to get a tooth from a little house mailbox than it is to try and find it under a pillow. If you're a tiny little tooth fairy, you don't want to get hurt. So, it's a lot of fun to make up this whole scene and story. And I'm choosing to lean in, even though there's this voice inside of me that says, this is a little silly. This is not productive. But I know that no matter where it goes, choosing creativity, imagination, and wonder, especially when shared with someone else, allows me to meet life with greater energy and openness. When I choose wonder, I see opportunities that I may have missed. And I'll get to know more personally the God of wonder when I do that. If wonder feels distant for you right now, it doesn't mean that it's gone. It just means it's waiting to be met again. What is the time you could set aside this week to practice wonder? To trade, what if something bad happens, for, what's possible? To stay open, to look again, and give yourself permission to wonder. And finally, I want you to know that you're not defined by fear, disappointment, or what you had to become to survive. You are defined by the one who calls you his, and he is still inviting you into wonder. You've got this because God's got you. Hey guys, if this episode resonated with you, please share it. And if you'd like to walk with someone to find your voice, honor your story, and chart your future, I'd love to work with you. You can learn more and book a discovery call at ownyouridentitynow.com. Take care.